Chapter 5. And they came to the other side of the sea, into the country of the Gerasenes. And when he had got out of the boat, straightway there came to him from the place of the dead a man with an unclean spirit.
他们来到海的另一边，到了格拉西尼人的国度。他下了船，就有一个人从死人的地方来，带着污秽的灵。
He was living in the place of the dead, and no man was able to keep him down, no, not with a chain, because he had frequently been prisoned in chains and iron bands, and the chains had been parted and the bands broken by him, and no man was strong enough to make him quiet.
他住在死人的地方，没有人能够压住他，就是用铁链也不能，因为他常被锁链和铁带囚禁，锁链被他分开，铁带被他折断，没有人有力量使他安静。
And all the time, by day and by night, in the place of the dead, and in the mountains, he was crying out and cutting himself with stones. And when he saw Jesus from far off, he went quickly to him and gave him worship.
白天黑夜，在死人的地方，又在山上，他一直喊叫，用石头砍自己。他从远处看见耶稣，就快步走到他那里，给他做礼拜。
And crying out with a loud voice he said, What have I to do with you, Jesus, Son of the Most High God? In God's name, do not be cruel to me.
大声喊着说，至高神的儿子耶稣，我与你有什么相干？奉上帝的名，不要亏待我。
For Jesus had said to him, Come out of the man, you unclean spirit. And Jesus said, What is your name? And he made answer, My name is Legion, because there are a great number of us.
因为耶稣曾对他说，你这污鬼，快从人身上出来。耶稣说，你叫什么名字？他回答说，我的名字叫军团，因为我们人多。
And he made strong prayers to him not to send them away out of the country. Now on the mountainside there was a great herd of pigs getting their food. And they said to him, Send us into the pigs, so that we may go into them.
他就极力祈求他，不要把他们打发出国去。现在在山边有一大群猪在吃屎。他们对他说，打发我们到猪群里去，好叫我们进去。
And he let them do it. And the unclean spirits came out and went into the pigs, and the herd went rushing down a sharp slope into the sea, about 2,000 of them, and they came to their death in the sea.
他就让他们去做。不洁的灵出来，进了猪群，猪群就从一个大坡上冲下海去，约有2000只，就在海里死了。
And their keepers went running and gave an account of it in the town and in the country. And people came to see what had taken place.
他们的看守人就跑去，在城里和乡下述说这件事，人们也都来看看所发生的事。
And they came to Jesus, and saw the man in whom had been the evil spirit seated, clothed and with full use of his senses, and they were full of fear. And those who had seen it gave them an account of what had been done to him who had the evil spirits, and of the fate of the pigs.
他们来到耶稣那里，看见那被邪灵缠住的人坐着，穿戴整齐，五官健全，就满心惊恐。那些看见的人就把对那有邪灵的人所做的事和猪的命运告诉了他们。
And they made a request to him to go out of their country. And when he was getting into the boat, the man in whom had been the evil spirits had a great desire to come with him. And he would not let him, but said to him, Go to your house, to your friends, and give them news of the great things the Lord has done for you, and how he had mercy on you.
他们就向他提出请求，要他离开他们的国家。当他上船的时候，那个被邪灵缠身的人很想跟他走，耶稣不让他去，只对他说，你到家里去，到你的朋友那里去，把主为你做的大事和他怎样怜悯你的消息告诉他们。
And he went on his way, and made public in the country of Decapolis what great things Jesus had done for him, and all men were full of wonder. And when Jesus had gone over again in the boat to the other side, a great number of people came to him, and he was by the sea.
他就上路了，在迪卡波利国把耶稣为他所做的大事公布出来，众人都满心惊奇。耶稣又坐船到了对岸，有许多人到他那里去，他就在海边。
And one of the rulers of the synagogue, Jairus by name, came, and seeing him, went down at his feet, and made strong prayers to him, saying, My little daughter is near to death. It is my prayer that you will come and put your hands on her, so that she may be made well, and have life.
有一个管会堂的，名叫雅鲁的，来了，看见他，就俯伏在他脚前，向他极力祷告说，我的小女儿快要死了，我求你来按着她，使她好起来，得着生命。
And he went with him, and a great number of people went after him, and came round him. And a woman, who had had a flow of blood for 12 years, and had undergone much at the hands of a number of medical men, and had given all she had, and was no better, but even worse.
他就跟着去了，有许多人跟着他，围着他有一个女人，流了12年的血，又在好些医士手中受了许多苦，倾尽了一切，也不见好转，反倒更坏了。
When she had news of the things which Jesus did, one among the people coming after him, and put her hand on his robe, for she said, If I may only put my hand on his robe, I will be made well.
他听见耶稣所行的事，就到跟前来的人中间，把手放在他的袍子上。他说：“我只要把手放在他的袍子上，就必痊愈。”
And straightway the fountain of her blood was stopped, and she had a feeling in her body that her disease had gone and she was well.
他的血泉立刻就止住了，他的身体有一种感觉，他的病好了，他的病也好了。
And straightway Jesus was conscious that power had gone out of him, and, turning to the people, he said, Who was touching my robe? And his disciples said to him, You see the people round you on every side, and you say, Who was touching me?
耶稣马上意识到力量从他身上消失了，就转身对众人说：“谁在摸我的袍子？”他的门徒对他说：“你看众人围着你，你还说谁摸我呢？”
And on his looking round to see her who had done this thing, the woman, shaking with fear, conscious of what had been done to her, came and, falling on her face before him, gave him a true account of everything.
他就环顾四周，要看那做这事的人。那妇人吓得浑身发抖，知道自己受了什么委屈，就来了，俯伏在他面前，把一切事都告诉他了。
And he said to her, Daughter, your faith has made you well, go in peace, and be free from your disease. And while he was still talking, they came from the ruler of the synagogue's house, saying, Your daughter is dead, why are you still troubling the master?
他对他说：“女儿，你的信心使你痊愈了，你就安然去吧，免得你的病。”他还在说话的时候，有人从管会堂的人家里来，说：“你的女儿已经死了，你为什么还烦扰主人呢？”
But Jesus, giving no attention to their words, said to the ruler of the synagogue, Have no fear, only have faith. And he did not let anyone come with him, but Peter and James and John, the brother of James.
耶稣不听他们的话，对管会堂的人说：“不要怕，只要有信心。”他就不叫人跟他来，只叫彼得和雅各，并雅各的兄弟约翰。
And they came to the house of the ruler of the synagogue, and he saw people running this way and that, and weeping and crying loudly. And when he had gone in, he said to them, Why are you making such a noise and weeping? The child is not dead, but sleeping.
他们到了管会堂的人家里，他看见人往这边跑，往那边跑，又大声地哭。他进去以后，就对他们说：“你们为什么要做这样的声响和哭泣呢？这孩子没有死，只是睡着了。”
And they were laughing at him. But he, having sent them all out, took the father of the child and her mother and those who were with him, and went in where the child was. And taking her by the hand, he said to her, Talita cumi, which is, My child, I say to you, get up.
他们就对他笑。他打发他们都出去，就带着孩子的父亲和他母亲，并同他的人进了孩子所在的地方。他拉着他的手，对他说：“我的孩子，我对你说，起来吧。”
And the young girl got up straight away, and was walking about, she being 12 years old. And they were overcome with wonder.
那少女就立刻起来，走来走去。她已经12岁了。他们都惊奇不已。
And he gave them special orders that they were not to say anything of this, and he said that some food was to be given to her.
他给他们下了特别的命令，叫他们不要说这件事。他还说要给他一些食物。